Welcome back to another episode of Crystal Hook Fishing. We got the fins. We're in the airport. We got my whole family. There's my mom, my dad, my brother. My brother really doesn't like them filming in the airport. Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed by it too, but here we are. We're on our way to Boston to spearfish out of Cape Cod. Max, one of our subscribers, invited us up there. So we're gonna go see what that's all about. Lobstering, tautog. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, see you guys in Boston. We did it. We got the dive bag. We got the wetsuit, lobster tick. As you can see, we got all of this rock everywhere. We got kelp. It's a totally different environment, and I'm really excited to explore it. Right now it's at night, and I'm just looking around at the crabs and everything. But in the morning, hopefully, we're gonna get our first dive in, check out the visibility, and see what we can find. All right, well, we're here. I had food poisoning yesterday, so I thought we were canceling it, but we're out here in wherever we are, somewhere in Massachusetts. So there's no lobster here, but we're gonna get our stuff on, and I'll see you in the water. Welcome back underwater, everybody. Today I'm in Boston with Max. He had messaged me a couple days before about the potential for finding some blue lobster, shooting some togs. So I was very excited. I borrowed the spear gun from him. I wasn't using my pole spear, but like as soon as we get in the water, we see these big blue claws, and I'm like, whoa. I just want to say that the winner for the giveaway in the 1,000 subscriber special is in the Instagram. So if you haven't already, go give it a follow. It's in the description. And also check out the story for the winner of the giveaway and see if you can't contribute to the GoFundMe. Thank you all so much, and back to the video. Diving around, you know, getting a feel for, we're in like 15 feet, maybe less. The viz isn't like terrible, but you can't see the bottom from the surface. Obviously, we're in Boston. Like, the viz is not going to be crystal clear. Basically, looking around these rocks, you're trying to find as big of a rock as you can, and that's normally where these guys are. But I got lucky with this rock, and there was a little lobster right in there. This one isn't legal, but it was the first one I saw, so I wanted to grab it and you know, get my first caught lobster. So start playing with it, poking the gun in the back of the hole, and I grab it, and my first lobster in hand. That right there is our first lobster. He's not legal, so I'm gonna put it back. Still pretty cool. So yeah, I let him go, and it was about this point that I realized how cold the water is, even in the summer. It's crazy cold. And the single, you know, Dyneema glove was not helping out with my fingers being cold. I was wearing a 5mm, so my body was fine, but my the rest of like my fingers and my feet, I had no booties on. Very cold. See a nice tog there? Get the gun out, ready to fire. And safety. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, Max just like got this gun like right before, but he had this weird little slip tip set up on it, and I didn't even realize that the safety was on when I shot. I ended up not finding that fish, and when I surface here, Max calls me over because he had found a lobster in a hole that was legal, and it was the first legal one that we had seen. This is only like the first, you know, 10-15 minutes of diving. But he calls me over this big rock, and right here you'll see this big, or like, not big, but legal lobster in there. Right back there. You see just his claw right there. kind of maneuvering so that I can get the right angle and feel out the hole, but saving the actual recovery for the next dive, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get him on this one. And Max has like an actual tickle stick.
He is in there.
So go back down with my flashlight, and there's Max's tickle stick right there. And this one is curved, so Max goes down and gets that crab out of the way. It's kind of cool to see other kinds of crab species that I'm not familiar with. I have no idea what that one is. It's like a rock crab maybe, I don't know. But I get the tickle stick in there and start working it for the lobster. There's that crab, it's carrying eggs. And I'm trying to get this lobster out. I'm in the back side of the hole with the tickle stick trying to poke it out of the front side. It strays too far out the front because it gets scared from behind, and I'm able to spook it out this front side of the hole right here. There he is, walking out, and then I can grab him. Boom, got him. Into the bag he goes, and that's our first keeper of the day. Then I'm like swimming around, and there's this tog with like an old spear hole right there. You can't see it right there, and he's just like swimming around, but just kind of exhausted, or like, so like I guess maybe like just not fully right. So I was able to just grab him with my hands, which is crazy. But then
what the heck?
Then he like freaks out and swims away. So that was just such a weird occurrence. He just like swam off. So I get back down, looking under these big rocks for more lobster, and honestly Max kind of killed me in terms of finding the legal lobster, but I found some that were way above slot that were really cool, and you'll see those in a minute. This one is a nice big legal one. And I'm kind of working under this rock to try to spook him out with the tip of the gun, and I'm not really able to get the gun back to where I want it, so I'm just very tentatively going in with my hands and see if I can grab his claws before he grabs me with his claws. And it's a bit of like the same kind of vibe as catching a stone crab almost, but once you get a hold of both of those claws, you can pull him out the front ways, and that seems to be the easiest way to deal with them. No eggs, not a female, nice sized one. Yeah, the slot for these lobsters is not huge. It's like in the range of lobsters where, like, if you were at the supermarket you would think they were like kind of small. It's like that's the slot range for recreational lobstering here, because they're trying to preserve the bigger breeding lobsters. So this dive is when I find the big blue lobster that you saw in the intro. Look under here, and I come around, and you can see just how big these claws are. Is crazy. Looking around, and boom. At first I didn't notice that it was blue. Like that's right when I'm like, oh, that's weird, that's a different color. Is this the blue lobster? I also didn't expect, if we found a blue lobster, for it to also be massive. So I leave my gun there to mark the hole and swim up. Going back down. It took a couple dives because I was trying to be really, really gentle, because I knew this one was over slot, so there was no need to like muscle it out. So I'm just trying to maneuver it into the right position where I can grab it, and I'm really thankful that I was super duper gentle, because this girl ended up having eggs. So I'm just like easing her out, nice and gentle, grabbing her, and you can just see how massive this thing is. This is the biggest lobster I've ever held. I've ever seen, ever held.
It's got eggs. It's got eggs.
So the significance of the eggs is that Max's blue lobster that he had seen the day earlier, or like not the day before, but like earlier in the week when he invited me, did not have eggs, and it was smaller than this one. So we knew that there were multiple blue lobsters at this spot, which is kind of crazy. That's me releasing her, just making sure she goes back in her hole. Nice and safe. Just super duper cool to see animals like this. And to know that the regulations and the slot sizes work. Because, you know, you got ones that are that big and nobody takes them. Getting back down. This is another absolute monster lobster. It's probably bigger than the blue one that I just caught, but it's not blue. Looking around, and you can kind of see that my camera got all wet. It's because we're shore diving, so I had to change the battery like in the water, which was really hard. There's that big giant lobster. Just imagine seeing that thing in, you know, the thing at the supermarket where they keep the lobster in. Like that's a hundreds of dollars lobster. That's a huge, expensive, several pounds lobster. So I get Max's tickle stick to get this one because it's in kind of a difficult position, and there's not another hole, like exit hole, that I can work it towards. I have to get it out of that tiny hole that I saw it from. So I'm using this tickle stick to maneuver her. Let's see if I can get it out by grabbing a claw or grabbing the tail or something. And it looks like I'm scratching around and using force, but I'm pushing the stick around the lobster. I'm not pushing it into the lobster. And you can see there's no scratches or anything on it. When I pull it out here, end up grabbing those claws. Just pulling it right out. She grabs the line from my float, and I end up having to pull that off. That's another big egg-carrying lobster. Look at all those eggs. All those little baby lobsters that are gonna, you know, be in the ecosystem. Letting her back into her hole. She just backs right on in. Alright, going down, I'm by this giant rock, and I'm just kind of swimming around it. I kind of knew that there would be fish here, so I'm not looking for lobster as much as I have my gun out, and I'm like looking around for fish, because I really want a tog. And there's one right there. I can see it, and I start slowly stalking over to it, trying not to look directly at it as it's swimming away. And once I feel ready, I move a little forward, stick the gun out, and shoot it. This is like on the smaller end of the slot for these guys. I was really looking for a bigger one. The bigger ones get like their mouth and their head looks different. Then Max found another blue lobster. This one's got a big scar on its face.
That's a giant. He's blue. Hold it all the way out of the water. Woo-hoo! Nice, nice.
Alright, midday update. I'm on this big rock. Got some lobsters, saw some big blue lobsters. Got some togs. So far it's been a good day. Looking for a bigger tog. I'll see you guys back in the water. Okay, so I took that little break, and then I'm here kind of digging around for this big one that's way back in this hole, but I get it so close to the mouth of the hole right there, and then it just buries itself way back into a different hole, and I'm not able to grab it after that. I was so upset, because that was a big one. So I eventually give up on that one, start swimming around. I'm making my way back in now. And I'm looking for lobster, but this area has all this seaweed on the bottom that covers the bottoms of the rocks. So I start looking for togs, and I see this big one. Grab him, and I'm super happy that I got a nice sized one there. You can see what I meant about the head, how it's a different size, like it's different.
That's what I wanted right there.
It's like a different shape than the smaller ones. I think it's because it becomes male. But yeah, that's all I got for underwater content today. See you guys out of the water.
There's our haul. Bunch of lobster. Got my tog right there. My other tog is on my float thing. There you go. Get him.
This is a bluegill, dude.
That's a giant bluegill.
Big these fucking bluegill are.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There you go. Throw him back.
Wow.
In the crystal hook fishing, baby. Oh yeah. Little pumpkin seed. Red ear? I don't.
Yeah, we just touched on that.
What is that? A pumpkin seed? Red ear?
Dude, that's fucking massive.
Oh, that's a nice bass, dude. For Maine, dude, that's a killer bass.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, my bad.
That line's gonna snap, dude. I'm calling if you put boat flip that.
Boom.
Dude, that's jizztastic, bro.
Ruined it. Nice bass for Maine.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, I keep messing that up. Gonna give him the release.
6-pounder, insane. Gone wrong, gone sexual. Oh, swim off like a champ.